Howdy. Let's turn my down. Hi, guys. I see Goddess in New Vegas in there. Hi, guys. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Yes, I missed out on Thursday last week. I just didn't feel like it. I'll just say that now. Oh, I hope y'all are doing all right. Yes, I used y'all. Hi, guys. Hey, Krista. Welcome in. How's Bear today? I'm here. I'm good. It's the first day of my on call again. It's looped back around to that. So, blah. I got some coffee in a clear blue glass mug. It's one of my favorite mugs. We've got a collection of these that are different colors, but I somehow go for these instead of normal coffee mugs. It's really weird. Coffee, my lifeblood, like literally. I drink it way too much, if there is such a thing. Thank you. It's a good one. I've got a ton of mugs up there. I had like a mug addiction for a while. My other half will attest to it. I uh I have way too many coffee mugs, so much so that we had to get rid of a bunch and then like store some. But weirdly, even though I like getting them, I don't change between them too often. It's really weird. I don't know why. I got a lot of cool ones. Nothing crazy. I got like a at least one Star Trek one, and I don't know. At some point, I'll have to do like a rotation where I swap between them each stream and show off what the mug is. Nothing crazy. It's like, I don't know. At this point, probably down to like 20-ish different mugs up in the cabinet. Probably. I don't think anything too obscene anymore. I mean, it takes up most of the cabinet, but it could be worse. Let's see. I still have this stuff here, but I haven't used it yet. I should just put it in a drawer. One of the things that I got over Christmas, just to increase my supply, is this wax sealant to seal paintings that aren't going to necessarily have some protection built in. Yeah, it's a apparently well-known brand, Dorland's wax medium. And I don't know how well it will focus on this, especially with a light right there. But yeah, it basically shows that it's good for watercolor, gouache, acrylics, oil, and more to put as a sealant over the surface of your paintings as like a layer of protection against the elements, mostly water. Um, that way, like a good example would be if I did greeting cards or maybe bookmarks and I didn't want to like seal them in like a laminator, you can put this on it to help cover the surface of it so that it doesn't immediately get destroyed by water, right? Typically for a painting, if you put it in like a frame, you'll have it behind glass or plastic or some sort of UV protective layer over it. And this is supposed to help give you like a little waterproof protection over it so you don't immediately destroy your work, right? I've never used it yet. I haven't even opened it. Let's look. Yeah, it's like solid wax, basically. Yeah, it's got some solidness to it. It feels kind of like more dense than petroleum jelly. Kind of like a very, very soft candle. Like if it's like just melted and just hardened and you touch it, it kind of comes off on your finger. It's kind of like that. Lip balm. Probably like the consistency of lip balm, I would probably say. And I haven't used it yet. I presume you just can put a little bit on your finger or on a tool and spread it on there. The tool that it shows, yeah, I have one. I haven't really used it yet. I've got one right here. Little palette knife. That thing that it shows on the surface. Of course, I can't see it because it's not in focus. But yes, palette knife. Haven't really used it. Interestingly enough, I got this because I saw other people who do watercoloring use it before, where they put some paint right from the tube, either on this or on something else and scrape some of it up and then put some right on the paper directly from this and then hit it with water. It's really interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I guess they show put it on with this, and then I guess you can thin it out more. It feels like this would be very white to not over enunciate. It seems like this would be very thick to put this on directly. I imagine you're built to put it on and thin it out, right? So, right, trying to do right now close to nothing. I was just kind of showing that I own this and that I haven't used it. I have it just to have the supply of it. It was actually semi-affordable. And when I was getting the paints for Daniel Smith and the palette, I thought, hey, let me go ahead and look at getting some of this because I saw that it's something that's useful to own, but I may not use very often. So I just have it in my supply, in my arsenal, ready to go when I need it, right? So at some point when we need this, we'll have it and we'll figure out how to use it then. I'm not going to do it now, though. I just mentioned it because I have it sitting on my desk and I haven't put it in a drawer yet. So let me put it up somewhere. My paint drawer. It is a wax coating, yeah. Its purpose is to be a wax surface to go over the top of your artwork. It first specifies watercolors, but then it goes on to specify you put it on gouache, acrylics, oil, and more. So yeah, pretty sure its sole purpose in life is to protect the surface of a painting. Uh, but typically I either hang on. I either have where is it? Nope, that's not it. Is it? Hang on. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? I was behind it. There it is. Um, I put that Voyager painting from the other day behind it's not glass, it's plastic, but it's a UV protective plastic on this frame. So I probably don't need to put any sort of sealant on when I do things like this because they're behind a protective layer. And I think the goal is like if you're going to do something that you're going to give to somebody, like a greeting card or a bookmark or anything that's not going to be directly in the frame, it's probably a good idea to put that medium on it to protect it. When it's in its like the paper is in its raw form, right? It's literally just paint meeting the air. Probably not good, but to place this on the surface of it to protect it for the future is probably what the purpose of that is. At least I'm presuming. Can even go on furniture. You can use a cloth to put it on as well. Really? Like wooden furniture as like a protectant? Kind of like some people do pledge. I think pledge is one of them, right? That you can do furniture waxes. This is probably just a neutral, non-scented, uh, non-perfumed version. Uh, I still have to figure out what drawer to put it in. At some point, I need to redo my drawers over here. Everything kind of has a place, but I'm considering rearranging some of my storage over here to figure out how to best use it. But anywho, I have myself here my 9x12 arches, one final sheet of paper. And it made me realize over the weekend I needed to get more, so we went ahead and ordered another ad for this, and it's in my drawer over here. We got it from Amazon for 21 bucks. It was a little under $21. Which are like $5 cheaper than Michael's has it right now. So, uh, not like Pledge. It's just wax, protects the surface. Interesting. I think some people put wax on their wooden floors too, don't they? Like I know people polish their wooden floors and put stuff on it to clean it, but I think you can do wax on it too. I guess kind of like you can wax a lot of wood products too to help stop them from parching, drying out, right? Okay, so this is garbage now. I don't need that anymore. Oh, that's huge. That might not fit in my. Nope. I might have to fold this up. I have been keeping the cardboard backings from these things because sometimes they're useful to do like to use as a backer for some smaller paintings to have something to tape it to. Okay, but the cover I don't need. But this piece I will keep. I'll put it with the. I've got a couple other ones over here. Shot. Yes, this is what they did in the back in the day. They also put it on leather. Interesting, like waxing a car. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Because I imagine it's also like both a protectant from like the elements and everything too, but also a way of helping it look like it's being kept clean longer, right? Because if you clean it really well, then you wax it, you make a layer of protection for the dirt not getting into all the cracks and everything, right? So that makes a lot of sense. Uh, I have these that we could potentially use. I've got two containers. I don't know if anyone saw it last time, but I got some washi tape. I got two containers of washi tape from Amazon. They're like $10 each, or maybe 11. I don't remember. Not a lot on each roll, but they're pretty. They're super cute. So I might consider using one of these today. We'll see. Put that over here for now. I was going to do some taping. I don't know entirely uh, what I'm going to do. I'm planning on doing some nebula today, but I'm not going to do like one big talking one. But I also don't want to necessarily do this style just yet. Where I do a bunch of them all in one page like that. I'm thinking I might cordon this sheet off into quadrants and just do like 4 little mini nebula practices with the new Daniel Smith paints. And then at some point, we're going to do one of these again. This originally, for anyone who hasn't seen this before, this is going to be, or was going to be, bookmarks. I was going to do them for Christmas, but that clearly didn't pan out. Maybe this Christmas I'll have a surplus and I can make some. When I made this to be bookmarks, I didn't want to cut it out. I really liked how it looked all together as one. So what I think I'm going to do and what I thought about then is I'm going to consider scanning this with my flatbed scanner just to save it for the future. And then at some point, I'm planning on getting a good quality inkjet printer that can print on large format like this. This is A3. I think this is my A3 paper. Um, and standard printers don't go that high in resolution. They go 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 by 14 legal size paper. But A3 paper is a bit larger than that. So my goal was to recreate these on the same size, but I can't do that if I don't have a printer that supports it. And the printer can be really expensive. So that's a for the future kind of commitment to the cost, to the plan. But the idea is that if I make enough of these and I scan them in, I can reprint them on uh, ink that is, I'm thinking I'm using the right word, non-soluble, so that water can't wash it away. And then I can use a laminator to individually laminate the bookmarks and then cut them and trim them as necessary so that there's watercolor bookmarks. Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot. The other side effect of getting a I'm sorry, an inkjet printer is that depending on the quality of the printer, you can print directly on watercolor paper, which is what I want it to be. I want it to look and feel like it was a printed one or like a painted one, so that I can keep this in a frame. Because I'm going to do more of these, same design, same idea. Might not be nebula. They could be something else. I could do a series of lightning. I could do a series of plants or trees or whatever. You know what I mean? So that way we've got like a series of bookmarks of space, bookmarks of plants, bookmarks of blah, and I just go through the list. And then I have them scanned and ready to go to sell or something in the future if I want to make bookmarks. So yeah, I like how that one came out too. I've got that one sitting here to the side. You put it up. Go. Go back to where you belong. All right. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out framed. It looks good by itself, but it looks even better framed. I'm glad I did not cut it up at the time. Also, I would have never committed at that point to sending it out the door to people. So that's that's a thing. At the moment, I don't currently sell anything I do because obviously I don't feel like I'm good enough to be able to send anything out the door to other people to enjoy. At some points, if I get pestered enough about it, and I mean that in the most delightful way possible, the best kind of pestering, right? But if I get asked to make things available to sell at some point, I will. But then I have to make a decision on how, right? One, first, do I want to sell the originals? If I sell the originals, do I want to? I don't think I made that long enough. We're going to try it. If I sell the originals, I have the thought that I want to scan and retain ownership over the image and be able to reproduce it however I want to, right? Uh, Point being that I can make prints from an original, even though somebody else will own the original, I own the rights to the artwork, right? And then I can reuse it however I want. If I want to sell prints of it, if I want to turn them into some sort of product at some point, I can do that without uh, owning the physical original work anymore, right? So some stuff I'd want to do that. Some stuff it might be necessary to keep the original to prove that I'm the one that made it. Like I don't know how that really works and how most people do that. I might want to only sell originals and never sell prints or reproductions or anything. I really don't know. I think I have to depend on you guys to help me figure out like what do people typically do because I don't really pay attention to, how other artists sell their work when they decide to monetize on it, right? The customer can always pay a licensing fee or buy it outright for a large sum. Oh, I see. Well, what if you like decided to make well, I guess that decision's made. If I decide to turn something into artwork that I put on some sort of merchandise product that I recreate whenever, then I'll always retain the rights to that. But if somebody wants to buy the original print, they can do that without the ability to buy the license to the work too, right? I mean, if I've already committed to using it on something. But if I haven't, I can see opening that up, make that person be like, only I own this, only I'm allowed to use it. Like they only have it on their website to show it off. Anthony Wheeler, I've heard that name, sells original and prints. So that's what I was thinking. It's all in the pricing. If they want exclusive, they pay the exclusive pricing. That makes sense. So how much I've seen, how do you figure out pricing? I don't even know that for like if you own a business, how do you figure out pricing for stuff? I know it's like you get the product or the components to make the product for a certain amount. Uh, and then there is a upcharge for, I didn't do enough of that on the bottom of that one. Then there's an upcharge for however much profit you want to make. But then how do you decide competitive pricing? Like you got to go out there and find other people who are doing similar work and see how much they're charging. But then how do you know based on what your skill level is, based on what time you put into the work, based on how much time you've spent learning? If you're 1 year in and you had one magical hit that worked incredibly well that you did, is it really right for you to sell it at the same rate as someone who's done this for 15 or 20 years? It's really hard to judge for me. I'm sure it's incredibly simple for others to figure that out. Um, 50% what it's going for on the market and 50% what serves your needs and feels right to you. If you're selling your original art, don't worry about competitive pricing. It's not about competing. That's what cheapo prints are for. Think about how much time you spent creating it, how much you spent on the materials that it took to create for its creation, and how much how much you think your time is worth. And honestly, if you need to pull a price out of your ass, I gotcha. Chumpy is a good one to also ask about that. Anthony Wheeler, I've seen. Chumpy, I don't know. I'll have to look. I'm guessing they stream potentially. It's one of those things that'll come with time. I've not been looking to make a profit from this yet. I have a full-time job. So obviously my focus and time spent during the day when I'm awake is for that. But I I just want to do this until the point where I am satisfied with the output of what I do. And I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot involved with thinking about that. Chumpy is one who's also on Ursa and Turkey's channel. Ah, excellent. Your full-time job gives you the luxury of taking your sweet time to build your name and play around with pricing and see what works, because that's basically what it comes down to. That's true. It's true. It really does give me the luxury to not have to really worry about this at all. And if and when the time comes where I decide I want to sell something from it, then I can do that. I was trying to figure out like what, people do everything. So it's not like I'm going to be breaking into any new grounds. Um, but then there's also the like the geeky part of me, the IT dude wants to do wallpapers, right? But that's not really something many people do anymore. Make custom wallpapers for like their phones, mobile devices like iPads, computers, things like that. And when they do, they don't really charge for it. When's the last time you intentionally went and paid for a wallpaper background for your computer or for your phone? Like, usually just find an image or one that you took and you set that as your background, right? So if I did something in the realm of computer backgrounds and all that, it'd be a consideration to do it as kind of a advertising to show that you can get the physical prints to put on your wall elsewhere, like on my website or wherever, right? But then the downside to that is in order to have a decent enough background, it's got to be high resolution. And if it's high enough resolution, people could just go print their own prints from it, right? So it's probably like have a very specific set that's on the free list to be wallpapers and keep the best quality stuff or most of the best quality stuff as available to buy separately, right? That way the free stuff can be the free stuff and it can be the draw and the inspiration for people to come check out what else you do. I think that kind of makes the most sense, talking it out loud. But it's an option. It's not the option. It's just what makes sense to me. Okay, where is the edge of this damn thing? And you know what? If I can't find it, then I'm not going to use it. Let's look at the new ones. Oh, these are cute. They're bears, I think. See, the downside with this is I can't get my finger there to pull anything out. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I guess those are little bears. Yeah, they look like bears. That's cute. All right. Also, I have, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Where did it? There we go. It's hiding behind my ruler. This, I've got this little cutter, or I guess you can call it a cutter, for the washi tape, where you put the roll on, and it's got, you see the little serrated edge right there, just like you have on like a masking tape dispenser or a Scotch tape dispenser. You'd have on like a office desk or a school teacher's desk or something, right? It's the same idea, but you clip it over the top of the roll. You peel off whatever you're going to, and you pull back on it to cut it, which I thought was really interesting. So where is the edge of this one? Hopefully I can find this one better than, yeah, it's right there. Yeah, okay. So this clip goes on it like this, right? Yeah. And then once you peel off what you need, you can just tear it. Oh, that works really nicely. Oh, that's cute. Okay. That's just adorable. I don't know how well you can see that. Oh no, and I have it turned the wrong way. That little bear is so cute. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, the little bears. I have to put them somewhere. I have to put that somewhere. That's a super cool thing. You know what's interesting? I saw this gadget through, damn, one of the people in Japan that we watch. I don't remember who it was. It was either Spilled Ink, if anyone ever heard of them. It was either through Spilled Ink or it was through Emily from Spilled Ink. because she does a lot of scrapbooking. It's very possible it was from her. I think it might be through her. Regardless, it was one of them, and they show that this is a little thing that you can get. It's a little handy portable tool for that, and they come in different sizes. That's your Amazon, yeah. So they're different. I'm gonna find something to stick this on. Oh, I can just put it on the side of the container. And that shows me that it's partially transparent, so you can see through it. Good to know. All right. Yeah, it was on Amazon. Let me see if I can find the page for it and pull it up in a private browser so I can show you on screen. That way I'm not showing off any of my info. Right here. And then I need to go to Amazon and then my orders. And then I wait for an eternity for Amazon's page to load. They have so much money, but they can't make their website fast. There we go. Okay, washi. Boop. There's one of them, and there is the cutter. Let me open that in a new page, grab the URL for it, pop that sucker over here, and open up a new private window. Paste that sucker there. Go to it. I am not signed in. It does not show my zip code. Not that that matters much. Perfect. I can grab my chat with you guys and move you over here for a hot second so I can read what you say. I'm going to full screen that, and then I can share it. There we go. And I'll put the URL in the chat for you guys too. Yeah, so it's this right here. They come in different colors and there's different lengths. So the one that I have in front of me here is the paper or the tape width being 10 to 15 millimeters in width. But there's other ones you can get that are different sizes. I think these are all the same, but the one underneath has a 20 to 25 millimeter width with the really wide tapes. So yeah, they come in a variety of sizes and they're fairly cheap, under $10 for most of them. So yeah, they work really well. They have one for the painter's tape size. Exactly. Yep. So it's really a really cool product. Even if you're not using washi tape, it's good for painter's tape too, right? So absolute bargain. Great deal. And these back are back. Is that the same one? Did I grab the same link? I might have, like a dummy. Let's see what I did here. 5.9. No, this is a different one. Good. These are the two washi tapes. I'll stop showing the screen now, but if you want to look at the URLs that I posted, yeah, check out the washi tapes because they also come in different designs as well. Close that and get this back over here so I can see what I'm doing and continue the work today. There we go. Yeah, so it's a super cool little tool. I really like the idea of this. So I can just move this down a little bit, find the edge again and peel it back. And now I get to experiment and see. And what's cool about it is you can pull and it doesn't tear. It just holds it in place. So if you just rest your finger on it. So that works really nicely for that. I think that's more than I need. Let's pull that off. Ooh. Okay, I'm not going for perfection like measurements here. I'm just kind of eyeballing the middle line because this is purely just for fun. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, that's nice. I like that. And it saves in your Amazon cart. Excellent. If I cared to have an affiliate link, I would do that, but I'm not going to because who cares? Someday when every penny counts, I'll worry about it. For now, I don't care. But yeah, it's super cute and looks like it's incredibly useful. I'm actually really quite happy with this as a tool. Yes, it's a kind of a unitasker, but I mean, if it's something I'm going to use a lot, it's a really good tool and worthwhile. Because the alternative is tearing it by hand. If it tears by hand, I have no guarantee if every washi tape is going to be easy or not to tear. Or I have to bring scissors out and cut it manually, and that's just a pain in the ass, right? Yeah, for how cheap it is, you're right. It is a great stocking stuffer, especially for friends that you know use washi tape or use tape in general. Great tools. All right, let's see. Oh my God, it's so cute. That's dangerous. There were all kinds of other ones on the list that I could have gotten. There were some like space and galaxy themed ones as well, which were really cute. There's all kinds of designs. Just look up washi, washi tape on Amazon or elsewhere, and you'll find a bunch of options. And it's shocking how cheap they are. I guess the reason for that is because in being cheap, you don't get a lot. You get a lot of designs, right? This was like 10 or 11 bucks, but look at how thin the uh the spool is. I'm sitting here looking at a web page and not my camera feed, so I have no idea what I'm actually showing on screen. Let me close this. I don't need it anymore. There, ow, there we go. Yeah, look at how thin the tape is when you really look at like how many rounds around the spool you're gonna get off of one of these. It's not a tremendous quantity, right? But you have a whole bunch of that size. So I think it kind of pays for itself. Primarily what people use this for is scrapbooking, right? So if you do scrapbooking or journaling or anything of that nature, and you get a bunch of different washi tape designs and they fit around all of your things that you like to do, or traveling, or your favorite foods, whatever the case may be. And people will tear off a small amount and they'll put it along the side or along the top or somewhere on a page where they're journaling, doodling, sketching, putting mementos, things like that, right? Um, or you can use it to tape in items into your journal. But a lot of people tend to use it when they're painting for masking tape because it's cuter than a plain blue piece of painter's tape, right? For some people. So I get it. I get the vibe. I get why it exists. I don't think I'll need any more of it today. I realize I think I put it a little to the left, but I don't care. Let's put this back up. Excuse me. I need to drink some coffee. I don't think I need this anymore either. Have some Java, Java, Java. Krista said, I haven't had a lot of luck with washi tape for painting, though adorable for other things. See, that's why I only got the ones that I did, because I don't know how it's going to go. Right. Um, so yeah, I'm hoping that it works at least equally as well as my masking tape. That's all I can ask of it. I'm not asking for it to be a miracle cure for when masking tape doesn't work better. Um, and I see why people use it with painting because it looks cute, especially if you record quick videos for, vertical feed, formatting for content. Um, which I don't know if I'm ever going to do. For a very short while, Goddess knows this, for a very short while, I was streaming to a few different platforms simultaneously to see how that worked. And I was running a horizontal and a vertical format at the same time. So I was sending to Instagram in vertical format. I was sending to YouTube, both horizontal and vertical, so that it goes to like their shorts feed or whatever. But I don't know. I didn't, at the time, it didn't really feel like a great idea for me. Uh, I really was just testing the technology. However, in the future, that might come back if there's ever a desire for it. For now, no. If anything, that might like increase like spread or increase visibility of what I do. So who knows? We'll see. Um, excuse me. Okay. Are we gonna do vertical or horizontal? I think I'll switch it up. Go horizontal. Something on here. Okay, no, that's gone already. Oh, those little bears are so cute. Ah, they're dangerous. How cute they are. That's just one of the tapes. It's actually super cute seeing it all laid out like that. They're so cute. Look at them go. Okay, stop. I guess that's half the drama is, is just seeing them laid out, right? All right. So let's move some of my other paint options up here, kind of out of my way, but where I can use them if I want them. And let's take a look at our colors, and I'll let you guys decide. I still have yet to go in with a darker marker or thicker marker to write over the color names again. I'll probably do that in the future. For now, I can pretty much read everything. So for the top left nebula, is there a particular color on here that you would like to see? Just like, if anything, pick like a color spectrum, like a green, a blue, a yellow, whatever, and then we'll look at that section closer. So is there anything particular you want to see, like a main color for nebula? Can we get purple? Can you say like all the way over on the right side, that like blood red looking guy or something? Just whatever you like. Pink, Goddess likes pink. The dark blue in the bottom right hand corner. Krista says green and pink for Northern Lights. I like the idea. I like that idea. We might do the green and pink together in one for both Krista and Goddess. We might do a full pink one, just go all pink flamingo on it. And the dark blue in the bottom right-hand corner. So there's a couple dark blue options in the right-hand corner. Which of the three are you talking about? There's phthalo blue, there's French ultramarine, and this is lunar blue. So which of these three are you talking? Phthalo blue, French ultramarine, lunar blue. French ultramarine, yep. Okay. It is a gorgeous blue, isn't it? Ultramarine for the win. That's a gorgeous color. All right. And for Goddess, I think we'll go pink. The only actual pink I have, and it's a new one, is opera pink. This one right here in the corner. It's a gorgeous kind of flamingo pink color. I love that. And Goddess is saying pink, mulberry wine, flamingo, all the pinks. Yep. Lunar is also, lunar is cool also. Yep. Lunar is interesting. That's new. This one in the corner here. Lunar blue is a really interesting color. So that's something to consider as well. And I love how it's granulating and it separates right there. It's really pretty. So that's definitely something to consider as well. All right. I like it. We've got a couple options. So pink hit first. We'll do pink first. And then we'll do French ultramarine. And we can do the green and pink for the Northern Lights. I've tried Northern Lights before and it was like, didn't quite work out. I like the pinkish color in the middle on the left-hand side too. In the middle, there's this one, Quin Magenta. Is it that one? Or is it one of these? There's a Pearl Red. Quin Magenta, yeah. It's a nice one. Okay, yeah. We can do something with that one too. That's a really pretty one. Maybe we can do a mix of pink and that magenta in one, because that can be like the darker colors, like the cloudiness, and the front of the bright pink in the background. Yep, so we've got opera pink, clan magenta. We've got French ultramarine as an option. Maybe the French ultramarine and the lunar blue can play somehow. We'll see how that goes. And then we can just go wild. Okay, let's start there. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the back. Also, don't forget what's on the plates over here are all of our colors in the middle section. So those are also future options that we can play with. One of my favorites, I might choose this Aussie red gold. It's such a pretty color. I might want to do a nebula exclusive from that. Did someone say green? I don't know if we chose a green outright. I think the green and pink. Yeah, Kristen said green and pink for Northern Lights. So we could do an all pink, a pink magenta. We could do a pink and green for the Northern Light look. We can do the Aussie red gold. We can do the French ultramarine as well. So that'll probably take up all 4 of our quadrants. All right. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. All right. So I think for ease, for me, I'm going to grab my large round brush to size 12 and have it at the ready for doing big swatches of a color. For finer detail, I'll use a smaller, this is my size 6 round brush. Anyone who doesn't know, it's not all I use, but my first set of good quality brushes that I got were of the same brand. And it's one suggested by a watercolorist, Jenna Rainey, who does a crap ton. You can just look her up on YouTube. She's everywhere. But they are Princeton Heritage for the brand and line. Princeton Heritage, or just Princeton, but it is a synthetic squirrel hair brush. Synthetic squirrel hair for all of them, for their whole line. All right, so I think I'll start big and then put fine details in after. Quinn and opera mix well with a light yellow or lemon yellow to make orange, just as a tip. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Ooh, I kind of like the idea of like a pink to orange color. Well, we'll play. We'll play with it. Oh, they have numbers on them, also guessing the fineness of the brush. Yeah, it seems like the size of the tip of the bristles, especially when wet, the smaller the number, the narrower it ends up going. I have a few other round brushes as well. I have a very small one. This one's a size 2. Yeah, size 2. This guy's a size 2. Size 2. Size 6. Sorry, right there, size 6. This is size 12. And I think I've got another one here. Yeah. This one is even bigger. This one is a size 16. Really big boy. Big boy. Clearly you can see the previous indigo staining the brush in the past. Some of those just stain and they stay there forever. I've had more brushes than that. I don't normally pull this whole thing out because it's kind of hard to figure out, but this is my little folder that I use for all my brushes and whatnot. So I've got a few other options in here as well that we can see. I don't want to tilt too far because I don't know how far this will go without going crazy, but yeah. You see, I keep my old Princeton collection over on the left side here, some cheaper brushes in the middle. The really, really, really cheap brushes are these blue teal pencil ones. These are Princeton as well. These are some Aqua Elite, if I remember right. I'm wrong. Wash brush. Princeton Heritage Wash Brush, size 1. Yep, that's a little wash brush. I got 2 of those due to an Amazon shipping mistake. Thank you, Amazon. I got 2. And I've got a couple stroke brushes, is that what they call them, where they're kind of a square tip. Yeah, stroke brushes. I've got a size 1/2 inch right here. And a larger version of the same thing. I think it's 1-inch version. Yeah, 1 inch of the same thing. I've not really used these because, you know, I'm slow to change. Let's put it that way. And aside from these guys, I've got, hang on, I can put these back. There we go. You. I also have 2 of these. This is a Jenna Rainey brush. It is a Princeton Velvet Touch number 12 Blooms brush. It's one that she worked with Princeton on creating, a Blooms brush. So it's round when seen from this profile. When it's wet, here, I'll put a little water on it so you can see what I'm talking about. When it's wet, it tapers to a point on the end, so you can use it to make leaves. So you can press lightly to do a thin leaf or a branch or a stem, and then press down to make it thicken to make the leaf, and then release a little bit, and it makes leaf shapes. But it also, when you hold it flat like this, you can make flower petals more easily. So since Jenna Rainey is known for doing floral, she wanted an all-in-one brush. So she could sometimes just play with just one brush. And this works really well for that. So I went ahead and got one just to play with. And then I've got a mop brush here, which I very rarely use because with watercolor, at least for me, I find that as soon as it gets wet, it turns into just a wayward mess. It just doesn't play well for me. I'm sure it does for people that know how to use it. I've just never quite figured out how to use a mop brush with watercolor. And then aside from that, I have down here, because I use it a lot and I have gotten white paint on it a lot as well. I have a mottler brush from Princeton, but you can see I've got white paint all over it when I make stars. So I try to keep the bristles clean. I'm gonna have to do a good deep clean on it to fix that as much as possible. I talk about it a lot, but my solution ultimately is to create some sort of shroud around all of this so that when I do stars, I don't get them everywhere. They get like I've got some up here on my monitor, so I get them everywhere. The Mottler brushes by them are really nice. Oh, let me reread from the back. Krista said, I have many watercolor brushes. It seems to depend on how much bounce one is used to. In watercolor, I like Winsor & Newton Series 8 and Escoda, as well as a Rosemary and Company. For cheaper ones, I like Jackson's Art Supplies house brushes. Interesting. I haven't heard of any of those except for obviously Winsor & Newton. It's such an incredibly well-known brand. I haven't seen the brushes at Blick, but we have a Blick downtown that we've gone to twice now, I think, just to look and get one or two things. I wonder if they've got any like house brushes, like their in-house brand. I mean, Blick is pretty well known as well, apparently. I didn't know this, but yeah, we have a Blick. It's an art store. Uh, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I guess my problem is I'm coming into the art world purely with watercolor and probably only ever with watercolor. And going to somewhere that is specialty art store seems like here's a way to pour out more money than you can afford when you can find some of these things elsewhere, which is true. Because they are not doing anyone any favors with their pricing. I'm going to tell you now. The few times we've gone in there, it might just be because it's in the middle of Seattle, but the few times we've been there, it has not been incredibly cost effective. Okay, let's start. Pink. Let's find our upper pink. It's here in the corner. Um, it has been a week. How much I bet some of these are still soft? I'm really curious. Like, I don't want to touch it too much with my hands, but I can. Some of these were like still soft. No, it seems like no, it seems like they're doing okay. I think I would press on them. Some of them might be a little soft underneath, but they seem to be holding up really well. Um, we only have the Spokane art store. Oh, I forget, are you near Spokane? I have a Washington neighbor. Is that true? Oh, wow. See, I just had to push down the tape because it was coming up over on the side over here. So we'll see. Let me press it down firmly to make sure it stays down. It might not hold down and keep the water out from going underneath it if it peels itself up, which would make it really garbage tape if it just can't hold the paper, right? I mean, technically that wasn't paper. That was the top of the other painter's tape that it was stuck to. So maybe it didn't adhere. By it on the other side of the border, I know. Oh, excellent. Hi, somewhat neighbor. I should be to be fair, I haven't really gone through the eastern part of Washington before. I think we've gone through on the interstate on 5, but or is it 5? No, 90? 90. 90, yeah. Um, haven't really explored much of the eastern part of the state, and I've been here, God, almost 10 years. Wow, we're gonna have been here for 10 years in May. Wow, that's crazy. And on top of that, you know what else is crazy about living here this long? I've been at my job that long. I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't typically stick around in a job for very long. And it's not for like hate of the job, it's for wanting to move up financially. So something bigger and better. But I've been very happy where I am. And I was able to move up enough that I've stayed in the same place. And I've been in the same job for almost 10 years now. That's wild. That's just wild to think about. Crazy. All right. Oh, the pink is coming up really nice. Oh, I forgot. Let's set that down. And let's use that mottler brush we were talking about. We're going to wet this whole top left corner. It's always nice to have a job you don't hate. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm man enough to say that I don't hate my job. Uh, it stresses me out sometimes, a lot of times, but I don't know. I guess maybe everything stresses me out and it just starts out a different kind of stress, like the new job stress. And then once you're in and you know it, the repetition of stupid becomes your new stress, right? When stuff is like shouldn't be a problem and it's become a problem. Uh, you have to move up enough to survive in that area cost wise. Yeah, no, it's true. And like I am by no means wealthy, but I'm happy making how much I am now. So I mean, honestly, everybody wishes they made more. I'm not greedy about it. I realized that weirdly, since I was a kid and had my first job and was making peanuts, between then and now, it feels like the cost of living has gone up almost equivalently. I mean, it isn't, but it feels like it. So that it feels like by the time I finally improved and got a better job, it turns out that I'm not really making that much more money because it still feels like a struggle. Isn't that insane? It's absolutely insane. Like a difference of 20, 25 years, 26, 27 years. Has it really been that long? Well, it's been a while. Um, it's just insane. Like how much the cost of everything has gone up almost equivalently. Like my parents' house, what their the original mortgage payment was like $515 for like a $72,000 three-bedroom ranch style house with a large fenced-in backyard up against a lake. Well, a man-made lake, a small one in Georgia. So, and that was then. The same house now is nearly 200,000, I think, roughly. The last time we looked at it, maybe a little less than that. So it's gone up a lot. I mean, too bad we don't own it anymore. My parents have passed on. My dad foreclosed on the house after my mom died. So that was him. Um, yeah, it's amazing how much all of that changes. Yeah, that's sufficiently wet. Let's go pink. Okay. So I'm going to go in with the pink. And I'm just going to pick some random directions to go with it to make sure my brush is full of it, but not too full of it. There we go. Yeah, let's go a little deeper. Just gonna pick a particular side, and I'm gonna try to hit the tops of them a little darker with this. Right. Is that so, Comet? Really? Really now? Job wages are so unbalanced to survival anymore. My parents' house was 10K. It was a three-bedroom rancher as well. Isn't it just insane? And then people go, like, you've seen the memes everywhere. It's disgusting. But people are like, oh, well, when I was growing up, I was able to make do and make payments on a house and my house is paid off now. Or what you know, low effort youngsters are doing. It's like we're struggling with two or three jobs, some of us, to make half of what you're making, and the cost of the houses are now three or four or five times as much. So shut up. Like it's absolutely insane the the complete lack of knowledge and visibility some of these people have compared to how things were to how things are now when we're just trying to survive, guys. We're just trying to make it in a really shitty world. Okay. That's a pretty pink. Make sure the scrubbies are pressed down. I found if I have these scrubbies, the brush scrubbers, sitting in the water for very long, the suction can come undone. And I just have to press them back down again. Forcing multifamilies under one roof. Yeah, is basically what they're doing now. Nobody can afford anything. It's just our anger. Queen magenta. Look at that queen magenta. Oh, it's such a pretty color. Okay, I'm going to add that above the pink. Just going to try to add some like dirty and little funny looking additions to it in some spots. I don't want to cover up all the pink though, so I'm going to leave some of that alone. Okay, I'm going to do a mix of this here because I'm going to add on top of that. Let's look at let's grab some indigo. I like this new indigo. Right. Let's get just a little bit of different shapes in here because the bottom of this can be some of the lighter parts of the clouds. Yeah, I like that. And you turn it a little. I have a bad habit of picking an angle and sticking with it, and so stuff doesn't look organic anymore. I think you said yellow goes with. Oh, I should have done yellow down here and then the indigo on top of it. We can probably speed it in, maybe. I don't know. We'll try it. Very faint amount, not how all that will work. It can be at least in some spots. That's a little bit too bright. I'll put some on and thin it. I'm not going to do all of it. I think I'll just do some in this area. Maybe just put it all in here. Maybe a tiny bit in here. Okay, I think we'll let that sit and see how that settles and moves on its own. Let's see. Gotta said, I'm very lucky I got my home when I did. It's gone up about 100K in value just using a quick look on Trula. That's amazing. Uber congrats on being able to get it when you could. I think we're gonna be apartment bound for the rest of our life unless like we'd have to play the lottery, but we'd have to win the lottery. Um, and like I said, housing is a human right. It should be. And then you said, I love Goddess's mousy mouse crochet. Mouse crochet. There's a mouse crocheting? When was that? Did I miss that or am I just not remembering? I remember I remember the glove or the mitten, fingerless one, and then your additions for that, I think. And then my memory is not great sometimes. So I'm truly forgetting the last things I remember seeing you crochet. There was something. What do you something you crochet after that? I saw it. That I'm spacing on. I can't recall. Wow, that's pretty. Just sitting here watching that, that's a really nice combination. And then Krista said it should be a human right. I agree. Now it seems to be more of a privilege. Oh, it was incredibly a privilege. Here's the thing, right? So if we're not there already, and I think we are, very soon we are going to be at a point where the number of houses that have been built at the cost that they're charging for them is going to be so great. And there's going to be so many of them that nobody can afford that they're just going to sit empty. And right now that happens. And somehow the people that make these places are getting away with it. And they're still sitting on them, not filling those vacancies. And they're fine leaving them empty, which boggles my mind because I'm like, you made 120 homes or 80 homes or something, and like many of them aren't filled like a year or two after you built the entire building or the structure, and you're okay with that. I guess because they think they're going to be eventually filled and they're going to get all their money. But it's like nobody can afford to move to them, but you think people are going to. They're going to leave their already paid for or partially paid for home, use that money to start something entirely new somewhere else that's very, very expensive, but new, probably not great workmanship either. And then someone's going to come around behind them, buy up that house that they had and either remodel it and charge a fortune for it or tear it down and build 4 condos on the same lot with no like yard real estate anymore and then sell that. And it's just, I don't know. It is, it's an anger part of my brain. Okay. Hold that thought. When did I see you? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hang on. Let me tell someone something at work really quick. Let me make sure I'm sitting back so you're not seeing it at work. Okay. 1 second. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Eh. Oh my God. Sometimes. Sometimes phone keyboards are too small or my fingers are too fat. I can't tell. Mm, Lord. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. Um, Cost of living just needs to come down and be reasonable. They make a profit, but everyone's able to eat. Yeah, again, you just want to get mad, but then who do you get mad to? I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's look at that French ultramarine next. Let's do that up here. I am on call for work, but it's not on call just yet. That starts at 7 my time. But it is something that I knew the answer to, so I went ahead and helped really quick. Get out of here. It's a dog here that snuck on. There we go. Hey, Desert. Welcome in. French ultramarine. What goes well with French ultramarine? There are options. What if you dab a little ultra in the first one so it looks like it's transitioning? Oh, coffee. That's a good plan. Thank you, goddess. So a little ultramarine into the first one on this so that it looks like it's transitioning to the one on the right. I already started to dry, but we'll put it in there a little bit. Just add that over the top of some of the indigo over here. That'll dry. All right. Is that still wet on the top right? Yeah, corner to corner, pretty wet. All right. Ultramarine. Ultramarine. That's not ultramarine. Comes my online training seems to have crashed. Oh no. Wait, were you taking online training? I don't want to start it over. Oh no. That's always a nightmare. Hopefully it's online training that saves where you were. I think the opposite of blue is orange, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or I can stick with the same side and go like purple. I like that idea. Let's hit a little purple, a little violet. This is cobalt blue violet. All right. And what's on the other side of blue? I mean, greenish, I think, right? And let's grab some of that violet and put it on the palette. And grab some. Oh, we're gonna do that one separate. And no, we were looking at doing that. No, let's do indigo, and then we're gonna do a different one with some of that lunar blue. We're gonna figure out how to use that. Let's grab some of the indigo with the violet. We're gonna bring it in the corner on this side. Maybe a little bit up here too. Now. Just find some spots to kind of squeeze some of this in here and make it look all cloudy. Let me grab a little bit more of that violet and get into the edge of some of that indigo. I just put some kind of in the middle. Yeah, get a couple dots of indigo in there, all dark. On the underside of some of these. All right. It looks like a seascape. I like it. Heck yeah. All right. Let's look at the. Well, I think we'll do the pink and the green over on this side. And let's look at the lunar blue over on this one. Figure out what to do with that. I wonder what color would go with that lunar blue. I think we'll probably have to start with a huge amount of lunar blue and then see. We could probably go yellowish, maybe. Let's go ahead and get that wet. This music is making me want to play Persona. I haven't played for a while, actually. So that music is from the Shin Megami Tensei Persona video game series. It's just playing a bunch of music from it. I accidentally dropped a bit of water there, but I kind of like what it's doing, so I'm going to let it. Actually, that might be a good idea. Just drop a little bit of water and some spots on it. Okay, I just let that do that. I'm not going to mess with it too much more. He says as he proceeds to mess with it more, quit while you're ahead. Okay. Can you zoom in just a hair? I can. Scoot that over for you. There you go. If not, that's okay. Girl, please. Of course I can zoom in. Okay. This side is pretty wet. We should be good there. You're welcome. Lunar blue. Let's hit some lunar blue and see what it looks like in a large area. I've not done that yet. So that is the bottom right corner. Let's grab a good portion. Scrub a little bit to fill up our brush with that. All right. I've been hitting it from this direction quite a bit. Let's turn and go from a different perspective a little bit. Ooh, it's kind of smoky. Turn some more. Moonglow would be a good one for this painting. I've got Moonglow. It is. Hang on. That one. I can do that. Let's do a little bit more Moon glow is just here. Just a little intentional cross contamination. Need some streakies and other things in there. And let's get a little bit more so we can go in a little darkly in a couple spots. Actually, oh, I've got it over here. I knew that was going to go that far. Okay. And let's get in deep with that moon glow. All right. Let that sit and just be its own thing for a minute. And I'm going to dry off my brush. And let me see if I can just get that really quick because that's just smearing all over the place. You go that direction. I got one little spot on there, but that's okay. I think I want to fix some of that anyway on that one. Let's grab some more indigo. Excuse me. Coffee time. Fun, fun. Okay. All right. I'm gonna brush off most of what I had on my brush, and I'm just gonna try to do a little like a dry brushy thing here on the edge of this to kind of hide the line on it. I'm gonna have to keep wiping it off because I put it on a little too thick. Okay. We'll let that do its thing and dry. I like how this one on the top right's going with the water hitting it. It actually came out really nice. All right. Let's try Aurora coloring. Good luck. I've not had great luck doing Aurora. I don't have to do Aurora. I can just do Aurora coloring. I think that'll be fine. Water splashes do help a lot. Yeah, up here helped. That actually was really pretty how that came out. Very happy with that. I wonder what water splashes ruin this one up here, or we're gonna do something interesting with it. Since it's up top is completely dry, I think it would cause harm. Speaking of Aurora, are you seeing it? Man, my ears just started ringing again, fierce for a minute there. No, I'm indoors. No, like legitimately, I have no idea. Like it's been, I don't know if it was clear today. I don't, I think it was fairly clear. It was very sunny, so I think so. I went out and you think I'd remember, but no, I don't remember day to day like that. You think I would, but whatever. Um, ooh, what color should we do for the green on that? And the one up there was kind of nice, but it's kind of a little darker. There's a sap green on here that looks really nice. Maybe a mixture of like sap and viridian to kind of split the difference between the two. Let's see. There's green and pink. So maybe we do our green mix. So sap green is that's sepia. That's that green apatite. This one is sap green. And then Viridian is this one. Grab a little bit of Viridian, mix that in. And maybe a little yellow. I think a little yellow will help it. Apatite, how you spell? Yeah. It's a funny one. Okay. We still wet? Yes. Gonna rub some of that off. And let's get some. Oh, yeah, let's turn it to a nice glowing green color. I guess if we want like Aurora look, we can just do streaks. Okay. Let's grab some of our pink. I brush. Try that. I do tend to lock on hard with a brush that I'm already using. I've been wanting to use these. So I guess the question is how? Like, what am I adding? I realized I just kind of did alternating stripes. See, Aurora, I think I need to watch people do like a bunch of Aurora paintings and then just bear witness to it over and over again and try to learn from that. All in all, though, it's not bad. It's just It's not super bright, and I don't want to overdo it because then it's going to be, that's not too bad. Let's these get some darker colors around it. Let's do a mix of our French ultramarine and some of that indigo, maybe. Oh, a little bit water. That one went errant, but it'll be fine. And whoa. I get you. That's fine. And I mean, it's really just experimenting, so I don't really mind that I'm trying like a bunch of random new stuff. I don't want to go over that again because I realize when I go over it from the top down, I'm going to pick up some of the darker colors. And then if I try to go up and back down it again, I'm going to bring it with me. I'm going to darken the whole top of it and be unhappy with it. But since, again, I'm just experimenting, I don't really care about this one. See what the water do. Ah, okay, okay, I'll drink my coffee. Thank you. Ah, you all already know me way too well. Stop, they're beautiful. They're what they are. A little splash of water is okay. That came out great with the water being added to it. I'm just gonna let it sit there. I can always redo it again, especially with a larger sheet. I can do the same exact idea again, do the lighter colors from the top down, and then streak the darker colors from the bottom up and see how they meet in the middle like that. I can even do like just like this and do another four-way, um, little four-way window into the soul and do all that kind of style and see how they come out with different colors. I like that idea. Mm, fun. Don't I still like how this one came out. I think I'm gonna leave it that light. I actually really like it like that. I like how that one turned out too. I think phthalo green might be a good try. A good green. The phthalo green I have is blue shade. I'd like to see if is there another phthalo green that's more of a pure green color? I imagine there is. You see a natural pathway through the middle of them in the bottom right? Yeah? I like it. I'm gonna let it dry completely. I'm not gonna fiddle with it anymore. I don't even wanna hit it with a heat gun because that'll speed it along in a way that it might not be ready for yet. Looking at dinner here in 30 minutes or so. Yeah. Have to make a little more progress on this online training. Boo. Ah, you like the top left one as well? The pink is chef's kiss. Gorgeous. Yeah, that pink is gorgeous. It is very much a color I have not had before now. Uh, this was my previous palette, and I didn't really have a pink. The closest I had was this primary red magenta on the top left here. But it's nothing compared to the opera pink. Like, let me show you the difference of these two side by side here. Like night and day, right? Like this, the new one, that is pink. So I didn't really have a good pink option. Put this back over here. Uh, See, that's what I was wondering. Is Aurora supposed to be active tonight? Like, I'm up in the Seattle area, so like, if it's a clear sky and it's Aurora, it could be seen, but it's always at a weird time of night too, isn't it? Like, I usually go to bed like at a normal time. Yes, in our area, really? Huh. I'll have to go look. God, I like how this top right one came out too. I like all of them to be, whoops, perfectly fair, and they're all coming out really nicely. I think this one I'm still a little, meh about, but we'll see. Especially as it dries. And it's actually all still a little wet. Would it be too weird to add salt to this bottom right one while it's wet? Or is it just not a set of colors that would really do well with salt? Probably not. Midnight is supposed to be the best time on this one. Oh, I'll be long asleep. So there's no way I'm staying up till midnight willingly. So I can help it. Huge ass solar storm is very rare. Really? Oh. I always miss them because I'm unwilling to stay awake for it. Ah, see? We'll see. I don't know if it's going to be clear enough for that or if we can see it here. Roar. Uh, I started typing and didn't backspace when I misspelled, so it made a really weird word. See it all today. Bum, 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 bum. It looks like just a fringe of it will hit here. Here's the Aurora map for tonight. It's like the green is just barely hitting the edge of our state. So it might not be a huge amount. Yeah, this is from the Space Weather Prediction Center, SWPC.noaa.gov. Where the site. But maybe. It'll take too long for salt to dry on this for me to want to mess with it tonight. And we're gonna have dinner, I think, not too crazy long after all this. I mean, we had sushi earlier. It was really good. I'm sure we'll probably at least snack on something later. We'll see. I'm really happy with all the colors we've got to work with. Oh, I never did my Aussie red gold one. Well, I can always do that. Let's, if anything, I can do that next time. Give me a reason to do that on Thursday and actually be here on Thursday this week. Last Thursday, I was just, I don't know, like, I was like, I don't really feel like painting. And I'm like, should I play a game? And then I sat here on my computer looking at all the games I've got, and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to play any games tonight either. I'm like, you know what I want to do? Sit here on my ass and do nothing. So that's exactly what I did. And it was great. I just had that moment. Like, I really want to commit to doing something. If I don't do painting, I want to do something on the days that I say I'm going to stream, just to be somewhat consistent. Partially for me, just to make myself do, you know what I mean? To do the work. Oh, but this time, I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. Yeah, adding that water to this messed it up because it started spreading up to the top of that right there. Yeah. If anything, let me grab some of the indigo and brush all of it off. And maybe like a dry brush in the edges. Try to break it up a little bit. But yeah, I think adding the water messed with it, and I shouldn't have done that. You live and learn. It can't all be perfect. Can't all be perfect. It's fine. It's fine. It is what it is, what it is. I honestly don't know what to do to fix all of that. Just play with it. Yeah, they can't all be winners. It's fine. Honestly, I'm going to make mistakes. I'm I still consider myself, based on how long I've been doing this and how often, that's the other thing, how often I've been doing this over the time. I'm still a baby. I've only been doing this for like I don't even know. In April, I think it'll be like 2 years, but that doesn't mean I'm painting every day, as is a parent. Some stuff works, some stuff doesn't. I just don't know that until I do it. So it's fine. Let's just try to smooth this over and do something else with it. I'm not happy with how it came out, so I'm just gonna wet it down with a thin layer of the indigo to try to at least get it consistent. Even if it's muddy, I just want it consistent looking. Because you know what? There can be consistency and pretty colors to be had in the muddiness, and that's freaking fine. I can even add some of that color right back into it because it might be good just having some of that color in there. Yeah, it's not wet enough to drop any of that off there. I'd have to get a lot more. It's fine. Talking about it, let's do it. Let's put salt on it. Salt, salt, salt. Exactly. I'm just gonna brutalize it with some salt. Let me make sure my brush is kind of starting to look like a cityscape. Oh yeah, with like the night glow. Yeah. See, sometimes good things come out of the accidents. I'm just gonna let it run. Run with it. Let me put my chart up. Aussie red gold. It's a cool color. Now that I see it on there, I could have had the Aussie red gold on my main palette, but I didn't because I didn't follow somebody's advice, but I just went with it, which is fine too. I have a lot of paint building up right here. Let me grab the paper towels. I'm going to dab all this from the edge up where it is never going to dry. It's just going to run everywhere. It's going to run everywhere. Yeah, there was a ton of that on there. And that pink came out really nice. You know something crazy? Tonight, I don't think I'm going to put any stars on this. I always put stars on things, but I don't think I always need to. I think this is going to be a starless night for all of these. I'm just going to leave them the way they are and make them look like they are. If I add stars, I can add them later with like the white gel pens and just put some dots in some spots. But I don't think I'm going to do the paintbrush like flick thing. I have enough of that everywhere else that's not on a painting. I think I'm okay with it for a night. Oh, that last one would be fun with some inking of the buildings. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, once it's all dry and I peel everything back, I can sketch over it. Yeah, you do that. I'm going to let that one sit for a few minutes and then I will probably hit it with a dryer to stop the salt from doing its thing, just so we get little specks instead of the big one, the big boy ones. Because I can already see where it's starting to do the salt thing. Yeah, because I see that. Zoom back out. Do a little bit more. It's funny. I have my zoom control on a dial on my Steam Deck or Stream Deck. I mean, and it was a lot more smooth. But I needed to take over that dial to switch between the pages and made it really easy to switch between each page on my Stream Deck. So I put my zoom on buttons now. So sometimes it's a little different. I did it where it steps in smoothly a little bit at a time. And when I zoom out, it zooms all the way out. So I can always go back. So I don't have the fine control that I did. But I realized I wasn't really using it as much. I was really just getting in deep and then zooming back out again. So I think that's fine. Turned out great. Thank you. I can never seem to get all the salt up. My trick for it, one, let it dry completely. It can't be partially wet. It has to be fully dry. And then use a flat surface, like a card or something you can use as a gentle scraper that's flat. And it seems to come off a lot easier like that. But if it's totally dry, I usually just use my fingertips to start with, and then I just sit around they're too solid. Yeah, I'll use a scraping tool, a gentle scraping tool. If I use something like my palette knife or something, I think I'd scrape the paint off and scrape right down through the paper. So a flat tool worked really well to get all that off. Yeah, wow, that's spreading really nicely on this. Thing I'm gonna do, like I said on that one, I'm gonna dry it down with the heat gun because I think I want to keep the little spread liner. And if I leave it on there while it's still wet, I think it'll just keep spreading. So let me go ahead and kill that now. Okay. I think we're pretty much there. Let's see. Goddess. Oh, actually, New Vegas. You said stuff too. God, I missed a lot. What am I doing? Desert. I'm sorry. You said I was having so much fun doing the clouds thing, similar to what you did in the upper right. I like how the upper right one came out too. The water being added made like the little spindly little arms and everything on the bottom. Like I don't think my other paint was able to do this. That came out totally unique. I love how that came out. And the bottom down here, all the saws, I gotta scrape all that off. I'll do that in a sec. This one right here came out really interesting too. I like all those colors. I think I'm going to keep all the white in that. I like that. And this one with the pink is really interesting too. Probably shouldn't have added the extra layer of stuff on the bottom, but it's okay. It is what it is. Splashing water makes a nice sky effect. Yeah, it nailed that. I absolutely love how that looked. I'll have to experiment more with doing that kind of effect. Let's get the salt off of this. Vegas said, I wonder when AR gets advanced enough, augmented reality gets advanced enough and at a price point most can buy, haha. I wonder how it'll affect doing art. I guess it depends how it's used, right? If it's used as like a tool to be able to help someone visualize something they can't normally visualize, totally. Making art in augmented reality, that sounds cool. I just wish augmented reality was something that was higher quality and more approachable and not vomit inducing. I mean, VR or AR, because that would be really amazing. I've seen some amazing tech demos, like back when Microsoft was showing off the HoloLens for the first time, and then that never came to fruition except for business. I mean, it's just the capability is amazing. And just throwing the idea out there, Gata says, do a small one, send to me. I add to it on my stream, send it to Desert Dragon Lover, who adds to it on her stream, and then potentially KR if she streams. Interesting idea. Like a round robin, kind of like everybody does a base level of something and everybody swaps in round robins and then they add the next part and so on until it's completed. That'd be really cool. Bottom left looks like a negative filter. It does, doesn't it? I actually have done like an all panes gray and white one. I don't know if you remember that one a while back. That looks similar to this. But I like the colors. Instead of it just being gray, it's like a greenish blue gray and a slightly reddish gray, considering I used, those two lunar, the lunar black and it's lunar black, lunar, no, hang on, lunar blue and moon glow. These two, lunar blue and moon glow on the bottom left here. Yeah, let's go ahead and get all the stuff off of it and peel the tape off and see how it all came out. Because I'm also interested to know how the washi tape did. Come now. Don't I tell you. There we go. All right. I'm going to scoot back a little and try to scrub some of the salt off of this. Hopefully it's dried off enough. I think it is. Missed a piece. Missed a couple pieces. Get off there. There we go. You are still salt. Good. Yeah, smooth. All right. All right. I see that got all the salt off of there. It ended up looking kind of neat. Let's peel it off. Yeah, bottomless looks like a negative filter. You love that gray one? Yeah, I've got sitting over to the right somewhere, I think. Uh, earthquake. OMG, I knew it. I was feeling it all day. Did you guys just have an earthquake? No kidding. Hopefully a little one. New Vegas, gotta get going now. Everyone, take care. Have a good night. Thank you, you too. Thanks for coming out, hanging out. Appreciate it. You have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week. Take that. You're not allowed to have a bad week now. Ha. I said so. I have the authority to change that. Have a good night. All right, let's go ahead and peel this sucker. Where did I do the vertical one last? No, I did this one. Yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe I did do, nope. Okay, that worked. For the most part, there's a tiny bit there it didn't. That's actually where it peeled up earlier when I said, hey, it's coming up from the tape side. It was from right there on the right. All right. But all in all, though, that worked pretty good. Let's see what the middle one looks like now. It comes up really easy, which could be a good or bad thing, but it left a fairly crisp line. Any mistakes there is probably just on me not pressing it down firm enough, but looks good. You're next. Bum, bum, bum. Was it it wasn't a bad earthquake, right? Was it just a shimmy or was it like a rattling the dishes earthquake? But just a little one and hopefully not a precursor. Meaning hopefully it's not the prelude to the big one. Fingers crossed. Sending up a shout to anyone that's listening who's got more abilities and power than us, who totally have it within their will and desire to want to stop tectonic plate activity on our Earth. But we're going to give it a shot. Whoever's out there, put the brakes on. I'm not going to lie, my heart was beating faster. Ooh, girl. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. The Earth is just pissed off at our current political climate. That's all it is. Kind of shake him off the surface of the planet. All right, stop talking now. Just because there's been so many big earthquakes lately, and we have thus far been spared. But before too long, something big is going to happen. Potentially, hopefully, a bunch of small ones are enough to get all the shifting the earth needs taken care of. I imagine it's when nothing's happening for a very long time that you start to worry the most, right? Because the potential for the biggest jolt, right? My other half would know because they're from LA, but I have never truly experienced a proper earthquake, and I hope never to have to. Okay, I'm gonna say I kind of like how they all came out. Now that the tape is peeled, these all came out really nice. I I think my favorite is the top right one. I like how that looks. The bottom right one actually came out serviceable. The salt saved it, I think. It made it into something interesting, and I like the idea of hand drawing and stuff like Krista said. Maybe making it look like a city. That would be interesting. Maybe fireworks or something. I don't know. We'll see. This one came out interesting. You're right. It does very much look like a space negative. And then the hot pink one. I'll have to work on that some more. You can clearly see it's just like sitting there and not really like mixed in well. So I'll probably do a pink nebula again real soon and just readjust it and try to fix that by remaking it. BA gorgeous. Thank you. Super fireworks over the city. Yeah, I think fireworks over the city would add to that. That would make that look really interesting. Um, well, that plus so much energy being sent our way by the sun, which is not unusual for big earthquakes after. Really? I know that. I'm hoping that what you got is all you're getting when it comes to the earthquake. You get no more earthquakes. I banish them. And if it doesn't listen to me, the earth has to listen to what I have to say. I'm going to shake my finger at the earth. Don't you dare. Don't you send earthquakes God's way. Okay, I'm tired. Um, yeah, I want to get home. Well, yeah. Let's let's get everybody where they belong and just chill out. Have a good night. No earthquakes. No big ones anyway. Yeah, we'll do the little ones that are harmless, mostly harmless. We don't want big earthquakes. We're good. We've been through enough this year and the last year. Let's not add earthquake to the list, please. Just a nice littles, yes. Let's not put that on our bingo, our bingo chart. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna head out. Let me put this up. I used it last time, so it's been sitting there for a minute. Um, yeah, guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. First proper like full trial run with the new paints, I think went really well. I absolutely love how these came out, and they're all a little bit different from each other, which I appreciate. Wasn't expecting to do, but I like how they all came out differently. So they're really nice. I love y'all. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and just book it on out of here. Virtual shout outs for everyone. I'm going to go ahead and just head on out and just go chill for the rest of the night because very shortly from now, my on call begins. And I just want to be prepped for that. So, guys, have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will be back on Thursday, unless barring something ridiculous happens. I'll be back to paint. And if I'm not back to paint, I will at least do something, probably something gaming related. And if I'm not here, you know, there was a valid reason for it. I guess. I'll see you all later. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see you later. Bye bye. Bye, guys. Bear out.